This is a piece called Another Look at Physicality.
Let us consider the erotic in contemporary music. Not only the sensual, but the sexual. And not mimesis either. That is, neither Shostakovich's thrusting and heaving trombones in Lady Macbeth of Potensk, nor a use of Manfred Klein's ideas of physicality, centric shapes to mirror the patterns of muscular contraction and release during sex, though this latter might prove a more fruitful mode of inquiry. Nor do I mean Nam June Pike's having Charlotte Mormon play bare-breasted in the 1960s, nor Paul Young's wonderful and very serious musique concrète scores for various Hollywood porno films in the 1980s. No, Harry Partch, on the other hand, with his idea of corporeality, was tending in this direction when he called for a music with a vigorous sexual energy to it, but one which, unlike 50s rock and roll, which wore its heart on its Elvis, would have a slightly more enduring nature to it. Jazz and tango are two examples of musics which, at least partially, started out in the brothel. Over the years, both have strained to achieve respectability and acceptance from those they regarded as the upper classes. The antiseptic, pelvically locked music of Wynton Marsalis is perhaps the ultimate expression of this desexualization of a music in its quest for acceptance. An irreverent aside, jazz and tango started out in the brothel and went to respectability. Would it be possible for computer music to go from respectability into the brothel? Especially in Amsterdam or Melbourne, where prostitution is legal. Perhaps a series of sound installations is called for. Now, where are those Arts Victoria application forms? Sponsoring organization, Prostitutes Collective of Victoria? The music of such soul crooners as Barry White may be schmaltzy in the extreme. But at least in some instances, it comes close to evoking the sensuosity, say, of flesh caressing flesh on a hot summer night. What I'm wondering about, without being either mimetic or schmaltzy, is, would it be possible, with all the tools and techniques of contemporary art musics, to evoke a spectrum of erotic energies, from rutting urgency to the sensuousness of the gently and exquisitely erotic? Ignoring the extreme puritanism of the academic environment where these musics originated, and to some extent still live, and further ignoring the completely and utterly horribly life-denying and body-denying energy of most people involved in the classical music biz, and even putting aside for a moment the almost Gnostic asexuality of Cajun Buddhist-influenced listening to sounds for their own intrinsic qualities, aesthetic, it's still worth asking the question of whether or not it's possible for the erotic to be vigorously expressed in contemporary art music. Indian music theory, after all, says that certain ragas express certain emotions. The mirthful, the erotic, the gentle, etc. Perhaps these expressions can go beyond the specificity of cultural conditioning to become feelable by a variety of people with open ears, minds, and hearts. Possible? Perhaps. Worth trying to do? Definitely. Another take on the problem. Pardon the crudity here. Contrapuntal techniques and timbral investigations express mental constructs, energy of the head. But what would make it possible for music to express the energy of giving or receiving head? Or to go down lower? There are many body alignment techniques that deal with the pelvis and pelvic energy, with Muladhara chakra energy. How is it possible to get this into music? It might, of course, be the case that if you have to ask these questions, you'll never be able to get the answers. But that's a chance we'll have to take. My language to this point is unclear. I'm not talking about expressing the erotic as much as I am talking about embodying it. When a dancer expresses an emotion, there is always a mimesis involved, and a successful or not communication. That is, did the audience feel what the dancer expressed? But each person's emotions are unique, and I remain uninterested in telling other people what to feel or think. So what I'm dealing with here, I think I'm dealing with here, is an embodiment of the erotic in sound, much like a dancer does when they embody an anatomical image. A knowledge and an image, say, of the alignment of the pelvis and spine is taken into the body, and movement proceeds from there. What is the analogy of this in sound? An image is thought into the body, and the body moves. But all sound making, except vocalizing, involves machines of some sort. Drums, strings, horns, computers, etc. How can an embodied body image be transmitted through them? How can I compose, say, an intense awareness of the muscles of my left hand? There's a bit of backtracking to be done here. A drum, for example, or a horn, is a way of physically transducing body energy into sound-making material. This can convey emotion effectively. 19th century Romanticism, contemporary pop music, and Manfred Klein's work all deal with this. Electronic musical instruments don't necessarily deal with this sort of control. They can, of course, but they need not to. This sort of transfer of energy states from body to sounding material to ear is not what I'm dealing with here. I'm wondering about a deeper kind of embodiment, into the fabric of the sound itself. Embodied in this way, the sound might not be heard, say, as erotic, but would be felt as being different than, say, the sound of pure abstraction. To ask it once more, and succinctly, how would it be possible for a vigorous physicality, a vigorous eroticism to be infused into, to be expressed within contemporary art music?